First thing, I wanted to apologize if I don't wear properly your traditional suit, but it's an honor to wear it. I really feel very comfortable, but I'm sorry for this. I'm going to try to bring you in a journey, in my field trip. I want to try to giving you the opportunity to see the dimensions in a different form and space. So we are going to work together in 4 dimensions instead to be living in 3. It's very difficult for a Tanka practitioners and Tanka professionals to paint in the space, the background. It's very difficult to do that because the background is not static, it's very dynamic. So usually in the Tankas you can see it, high peaks, waterfalls, rivers, very smooth territories, but at the same time, the imprint of the landscape is very difficult to bring in on. So in this particular journey that we are going to go, is a visualization of the landscape. To do that, we need to bring first bodhicitta in our track. Our track, it will be important to bring bodhicitta, and my bodhicitta started in spring 2018 in Kansas. I found this statue from the 9th century with the compassion of Avalokiteshvara, Vajrayana, the Mother of the Mercies. And then it surprised me how beautiful it was, because all the representation that I see from Wang Yin, it was this type of sitting Avalokiteshvara compassion. And that is very unusual to have that kind of shape. And my question first, as a geologist, where my profession is, I just see what is, the Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva holding in the left hand. And this might be more closer for you, and then it is an ammonite. An ammonite is a fossil that they started to live in our planet 400 million years ago. And those ammonites, they were sentient beings, like have been in the oceans that there are not now. Physically, we cannot see those oceans. We can only interpret it on the rocks. That is where the fossils, they given to us. I want to talk to on the literature. I try to find it, and there is a lot of literature related with the ammonites in the previous civilizations, like the Egyptians, Vikings, Native American, Central Europeans, and as well, obviously, in the Hindu tradition. There is a lot of significant things with that. And then I want to talk to my loved master, my teacher, Gakchen Rinpoche, when I have the honor to have different private meetings with him, talking about these fossils and the real importance of the stones. I asked him to my teacher, I've been crying sometimes when I touch the rocks, because the rocks, they are animals, has been suffered, us, but million years back. So Gakchen Rinpoche and me, we have a heavily connection with the stones, and he really liked it. The other photo, a little bit more new, it was just from a month ago that I sent it to him, another ammonite. The second point in our trip is wisdom. So we need to think, we need to study, we need to create the points where they are going to helping us in the journey. And I found this quote beautiful from the 11th century from a Zen master, from Dokai, that the Dogen, they mentioned it a little bit later, 150 years later. Basically, the stone woman gives birth to a child at night. I wanted to give you the chance to thinking about it in this koan. This koan is very powerful. Because I thought, in my opinion, we're talking about the Mother Earth. How the Mother Earth bringing those stones. There will be the Nagas in our Buddhist tradition, usually represented the nature. So Nagas, they bring in the stones. And that is one of the, let's say, library of the stones that the Mother Nature, the geology giving us every single day. Usually there are catastrophes and different kind of events, like they have this kind of alluvial fans, like this one, con alluvial fans. This is in 700 kilometers to the north from Thimphu.
Large masses of hill slope material may fall to the bottom of slopes, dilate or liquefy, and begin to flow.
This is impermanence. This is purely impermanence. What we think our space is solid, it is not. It's changing completely, constantly. But we don't notice. We are in our Thimphu, beautiful valley, but all around us, there are catastrophes like this. When the water comes, when many things happen, gravitational collapses, faults, rocks, This is the way that the nature created and changed. Very chaotic. And then we need a space. Every one of us, we have coordinates in life. Sometimes it's our parents, sometimes it's our mom, our father, our grandpa, our teacher in the high school, our master, even a friend, they could be a coordinates. But every one of us, we have a coordinates, so they have a purely nature. These coordinates, they are intricated in a coordinate system. Like every one of us, we cross our coordinates. Sometimes I have the impression to be here with all of you. I have the opportunity to be with you on the same space, but even every one of us, we have different coordinates. These coordinates represented one of the most holy and special places from Buddhists and Hindus, that is Mount Kailas. So the coordinate system, they bring it directly to the special point. These Mount Kailas, they are absolutely amazing, Gangan Rinpoche. And they're basically an expression of the purely Buddha nature of the mountain. We have it and imprint. We can put it up, making a dialogue in our mind, we have the real sacred place and nature of that place in all our forms. The Hindus, they will see Shiva. The Buddhists, they are going to see Guru Rinpoche. We go there throwing katas. We try to bring that in wishes to the mountain. But now we are in Vajrayana practitioners, so we need to visualize. Convert yourself right now in Garuda and flying over. So if you're flying over, you are doing Kora. You are doing Kora in a place where maybe not any one of us we are going to be. Maybe perhaps you couldn't go because it's too expensive. Maybe perhaps it's impossible because you are physically not able to. Whatever, but mentally you could go, as Agarthan Rinpoche said, you can empower yourself to be there physically right now. When you're flying as a Garuda bird, you can focus on different kind of landscapes. Sometimes we can visualize the valleys where the glacier has been eroded the mountain and created the brighter system rivers they go to the main lakes. So we have it, the circles of the glacier where the glacier was there before, but we don't have it anymore. We have only the deposition, only have the sediments. This is beautiful circle of the glacier where you have the moraine front. That is all this massive fund of rocks, they are basically building and constructed every single day with the wind, with the ice, with the water, the nature of how beautiful the landscape is. But now I wanted to bring you to something else. So when we look at the Landsat images related with the Monte Kailas, geologists, what we do is we recognize type of rocks and put it time. So we can recognize different kind of rocks and how old those rocks they are with different kind of techniques that I'm going to go through that one, only to telling you we can recognize a lot of details. So when we go to the Mount Kailas and we look at all the rocks there, for many of you, they're going to see a rocks, but when you put your eyes a bit closer, you can see that some rocks, they have some kind of layering. And when we see the layering, geologists, what we do is go through those rocks and try to identify. It's when the practitioner try to visualize what is the meaning of the rocks, because the rocks, they don't have any language. They are completely non-language. So we need to recognize characteristics of that. And when we do that in multi-locations and detailing, we can recognize different layers, continuous, other layers maybe non-continuous. Some layers that are represented different kind of characteristics, like us. We have different practitioners with different schools, but the rocks, they have as well different characteristics that they speak a lot about their quality. And then with those characteristics, we can divide the rocks in different kind of environment, depositional environment, and then talking about the alluvial fan phases, brighter river phases, big environments they are not related with the mountain. So it's something else because it's previous. So when we look at the valley and we see the nature of the rocks, everywhere there is massive. But then the most important is what it represented. All these phases, they are representing something that it was years back, in concrete in this case, more than 26 million years back. We have to imagine Mount Kailas, it was a huge, enormous basin lake in the intramontaneous plateau. And those lakes, they generated fun. So Mount Kailas, 26 million years ago, it was this kind of fun delta systems. So when we look at those kind of systems, we have to put it in context where we are. We are in a very complex scenario because it's India, it's a plate tectonics, how the Himalayas has been forming. So we have something that is a massive piece of the lithosphere in a two mega plates, like as India, South Asia, and then the North Asia plateau. So there's another craton. This is a huge impact between two continents. So Mount Kailas is a tiny basin over the plateau, just there. But then that means when that kind of massive thing happened, we have a different orography, and we can able to identify when we found this type of fan deltas, we are in Oligocene, Miocene, 28 million years, when we don't have it, and we can start to visualize how the mountain has been formed. Then I have the honor to ask him to color Rinpoche in a private audience yesterday related with Rinpoche, what is the divinity, the divinity of the place? Why this place is holy? Because I see that the place is holy much more long time ago. So this is a little bit more complex for many of you, but I'm going to try to giving you the chance to visualize this one. This is very, very important. The geoplates and tectonic reconstruction is an incredible database worldwide with multiple different scholars in geology that we bring data from all around the world to modify how the plates they are going to move. So I hope that you can understand how the Earth is changing, similar like it's changing us, but we are part of the same system. So if we visualize how our Mother Earth changed, we can be humble and we can understand when you have volcanoes or when you have earthquakes, it's an expression of tensions.
this is the only visualization of comparative Buddhism. So I hope that bring it to all of you.
Don't forget to create a space if you want to really hold in someone. You see it how the earth create a space, move, destroy, is only by create a space where we can hold in someone. You are not going to hold in anyone with compassion and love if you don't create a space. That is exactly what the earth is giving. Create a space for us and for all the sentient beings like I has been in the planet before.